Hello, my name is Dr. David Bray. I'm the inaugural director for the Atlantic Council's GeoTech Center, and I'm honored today to host two of our VIP co-chairs for the GeoTech Commission. They are very important people in their own right in that they have made significant contributions both to the private sector and to advocating for good tech choices. Here at the GeoTech Center, we're focusing on how data and technology is changing geopolitics, how it's changing the world, how it's changing how we live, and similarly, how the world is changing how it wants to use data and technologies, ideally to strive for a world that is more prosperous, peaceful, and uplifting of people everywhere. This involves the GeoTech Commission, more appropriately known as the Commission on the Geopolitical Impacts of New Technologies and Data. The two co-chairs, John Goodman of Accenture and Teresa Carlson of AWS, have been helping to guide our efforts both with the Commission and with the Center as we look to identify pragmatic initiatives we can help move forward. I'm very thankful for the co-chairs for their guidance, and I look forward to sharing the results of their deliberations and the Greater Commission's insights in the months ahead. Now, however, I would like to share a preview as we listen to both John and Teresa share their thoughts as GeoTech co-chairs and what the Commission is focusing on as we move forward in this era of significant change, as well as significant possibilities to achieve using technology and data, a world that is more prosperous, peaceful, and uplifting of people. Here now, their thoughts.
Hey, David, great to be here. Well, I'm John Goodman, the Chief Executive Officer of Accenture Federal Services. Our company has the privilege of helping the U.S. federal government do the extraordinary things it does to keep our nation safe and to deliver essential services that make life better for people. There's so much happening in the field of technology, and our focus is on helping agencies deliver on the promise of that technology and people in new ways. So we're now at a critical inflection point. How much we benefit depends on how we take advantage of the opportunity and how we manage the unintended consequences. I believe that no one country or company can take on these challenges alone. And that's why Accenture became a founding partner of the GeoTech Center. The Atlantic Council has a unique and tremendous capacity for taking on big challenges and bringing stakeholders to the table, not just to discuss the problems, but to help solve them.
Hi, everyone. My name's Teresa Carlson, and I'm the Vice President of Worldwide Public Sector and Regulated Industries. And I am the co-chair of the GeoTech Commission, and I'm really proud to serve on this commission along with my co-chair, John Goodman. And one of the real values, I think, of the GeoTech Commission is to bring together thought leaders on topics around the world, ensuring that new technologies and data can really empower people in terms of prosperity and secure peace in the United States and around the world.
Whether you're in the public or the private sector, organizations need to begin making changes to get the benefits from technology. But they can't do it in a vacuum. They need to bring all their stakeholders to the table. That's how we'll design better solutions and address the risks. And that's how we'll make change matter for everyone.
Again, this crisis really forged the need for public-private organizations to come together very quickly. And from the very beginning of this crisis, we saw it happening starting from China, moving through Asia, Europe, North America, Latin America. So this really moved rapidly. And you saw governments quickly working with public companies in order to say, we need help, we need support. And for Amazon, a great example is we worked around the world with many governments to help get their supplies to them. They needed their supplies, so we prioritized the supply chain for masks, for testing equipment, everything that they needed. So that was an important partnership, and we would not have known what they needed unless they came to us and they said, we really need your help to make sure the supply chain does not stop. You need leaders that share what's the path forward, what's the plan, and how do we get there. And we've even seen in our own business, actually, I'll kind of give a corollary to digital transformation. within our own business at Amazon Web Services, in order to drive change over the years, we've seen that come from the leaders who've actually said, we're not going to stay where we are. We're moving fast. They set timelines, deadlines, and goals, and they make sure they achieve them. And they measure them against where they said that they were going to be.
What's key is, even as we apply new technologies, we recognize that people are still at the core of everything we do. And therefore, we need to ensure that technology is applied in a responsible way. For example, we need to be collaborative and inclusive in how we develop, apply, and train AI in areas like health diagnoses or claim decisions, so that we proactively guard against bias.
So I think, again, you're going to see lots of changes, but for leaders, one, they've got to think strategically, yet act tactically, look around the corners, make sure they're preparing for their business to be online, their business or their government to be online, to make sure their workers are trained effectively. And we're thinking about students right now as we educate them and we're providing them the right skills that they need. So all of us can hire them and they're ready to go, and we're not having to reskill them when they come out of university.
Technology is everywhere, and it's transforming every aspect of our life. And it's introducing new opportunities and new risks for our societies, our economies, and our national security. It's not the first time we've experienced technological change, but what's different is that these new technologies are maturing exponentially faster, and their impact is even more profound.
This pandemic has truly been a black swan event. And while we never wish for anything like this, it's actually accelerated the pace of innovation. And we've learned from crises in the past that sometimes that does create a platform for innovation. And what happened here is all of a sudden where individuals went into the workplace every day to do their work at every level, from the intelligence community to defense to state and local government to individual workers in their businesses, they couldn't do that. So they had to create a model to be effective and work in a virtual environment.
Well, technology is absolutely transforming the future of work. Just think about what we've seen in the healthcare industry these past few months. Robots are helping with social distancing by doing things like disinfecting cities, delivering packages, and working with doctors to relay vital information to patients. Federal agencies are now testing 3D printed personal protective equipment, and they're expanding telehealth to veterans. Hospitals are using virtual reality simulations to help doctors treat infectious diseases. Whether you work in healthcare, in energy, retail, or government, technology is helping people to work smarter and safer. Now, looking ahead, I believe that investments in technology will continue to change how we work. We're seeing a real acceleration in applying technologies, especially artificial intelligence. Even before COVID, nearly 3/4 of businesses were piloting or adopting artificial intelligence in one or more of their business units. And federal agencies are also increasing their investment in artificial intelligence. Our research found that AI could impact 30% of the average federal worker's time by 2028. And overall, it could boost productivity to deliver over $500 billion of cost savings each year. And that's just by automating repetitive tasks and freeing up time for higher value-added activities. The key is for companies and governments to apply artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies in ways that allow people to do what they're best at and to spend more time on the mission and less time on processing. The world is generating a lot of data, which is now indispensable to everything we do. In fact, 90% of the data in the world was produced in just the past 2 years, and yet only a fraction of it is being analyzed and used. We believe that harnessing this data could yield the next new solutions, cures, and breakthroughs. At Accenture, we've made significant investments in advanced analytics, bringing different disciplines together in new ways and really pushing what's possible in human plus machine collaboration. For example, we're innovating in mission-critical spaces like defense and intel, bringing together computer vision with natural language processing to augment critical human tasks with more machine observation so that people will spend less time looking at their screens and more time on higher value-added tasks. But we're just scratching the surface. And as we get more advanced and push AI across organizations, we'll see an even more dramatic expansion in what the workforce can accomplish.
So now that we've heard from both our co-chairs, John Goodman and Teresa Carlson, now it's time to pause and remember that at the end of the day, technology is about how we choose how to use it. We're experiencing significant disruptions involving what technology can do, what data means in our lives, and that's why it's all the more important as we advocate for good tech choices to identify what we mean by goodness. This is why the GeoTech Commission matters. This is why the GeoTech Center at the Atlantic Council matters. We're stronger together with allies across sectors, across nations. And here we are on this precipice of a world in which we can set the very future that we would like as we map our way forward involving new technologies and data. I hope you'll continue to join the journeys of both the GeoTech Commission and the Center. You can find us online at gtc.atlanticcouncil.org. Again, that's GTC for GeoTech Center.atlanticcouncil.org. And you can help us guide the efforts that we need to consider across sectors, across nations, for a future that is more uplifting of prosperity, peace, and for people around the world. Thanks again, and hope to see you as we continue these journeys together.